So, so far the senses are concerned, the senses are concerned, that should be under my control. I should not be servant of my senses. And that is possible when I am situated in the spiritual platform of consciousness. Otherwise it is not possible. I cannot control my senses if I am on the material plane. It is impossible. But I can control my senses. But this is possible. This is possible. It is not impossible fact. The Swami, we are known as Swami. What is the meaning of Swami? Swami means who is the master of the senses. That is the Swami. Swami means master. One who has attained the perfectional stage of controlling the senses, he is called Swami or Goswami, master of the senses. So this can be done by practice, by knowledge. This is not impossible. I was also a young man. I was also married. I have got my wife still living and my family is still living. But somewhere or other, by practicing or by some knowledge, I have come out of the clutches. So everyone can have that. Not this dress is not the Swami. Actually, you can also be Swami, even in the present dress. The dress is immaterial. The actual fact is that one should, by spiritual development of consciousness, they should come to the stage of becoming the master of the senses. Master, the yoga. The yoga system, that is also controlling the senses. That is controlling the different asana, different situation of the body, that is mechanical. Something is done by mechanically and something is done by pure knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita teaches on the platform of pure knowledge. Of course that is also recommended. But that is recommended for a person who cannot concentrate on the platform of the knowledge. Those who are too much addicted with bodily conception of life, the yoga system, the yoga, practices, that is recommended especially for them. That we shall come later on. Now here it is said, yadā saṁharate cāyaṁ kūrmo ṅgānīva sarvaśaḥ indriyāṇīndriyārthebhyas tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. Tasya prajñā pratiṣṭhitā. No. Yes, a very good example is given here. What is that? Tortoise. You have seen tortoise? The tortoise, there, and when they like, they close their hands and mouth and everything within this body and become a lump. Tortoise, you see? Similarly, we must know that our senses, they are meant for some particular purpose. And that particular purpose, I have already explained, that hṛṣīkeśa-sevanaṁ bhaktir ucyate. These senses are actually, they are not mine. The senses are given by the Lord. Last day I explained. But we are very proud of our senses. But these senses are given just like a boy is given some plaything by the father. Similarly, we wanted to enjoy this material world. Therefore, our material senses are awarded. All right, enjoy. You just have experience of this material world. And when you get experience that I am not happy, then you shall come back again to me. So senses are actually meant for rendering service to the Lord. Senses. Because I am eternally. Eternal. And senses, the senses belong to the Supreme Lord. Just like this is my spectacle. So, it should be used for my purpose. Similarly, our senses, actually they are not ours. Just like this room, this loft we are sitting, it is all right. But the loft belongs to some lady, some landlady. We should be always conscious of that. There is no harm using it so long with that consciousness. But if I think, oh, this is my loft, I haven't got to pay the rent, I am the proprietor, then whole trouble begins. Otherwise, so long we are conscious that I have given rented out this loft for my use, that's all right, but I am not the proprietor. Similarly, the whole thing, the whole world, the Īśāvāsyam, it teaches us, īśāvāsyam sarvam. Nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to God. Everything belongs to God. There is a story that God loves when two party fights for the land. Actually, you have seen in India when there was partition days, the Hindu-Muslim fought, and when both of them died and lied on the street and strewn all over the street and asked them, now whose land it is? No, nobody replied. The God's land will remain here. And we simply fight that this is my land, this is my land. These are all these, paraphernalia of our illusion. So here, Lord says, yadā saṁharate cāyaṁ kūrmo ṅgānīva sarvaśaḥ. Just like the tortoise closes his senses according to his wish. Similarly, the person who is able to use his senses according to his own control, he is to be understood that he is situated in the spiritual platform. Use of the senses is not bad, but one should use when it is needed, not according to the dictation of the senses. Not according to the dictation of the senses. You will find here in the Bhagavad Gita later on that God says that sex intercourse for generating a child is myself. The God says, I am. But beyond that, sexual intercourse is, the Lord says, I have nothing to do with that. So in every way, it does not prohibit that we should not use our senses. No, we shall use our senses when it is required, not according to the dictation of the senses. That we should be in that platform. If I am following the dictation of my senses, then I am not the master of the senses. I am the servant of the senses. So actually, our position is like that because we have forgotten our real master, the Supreme Lord. By illusory energy, we have been put to be a servant of the senses. Instead of becoming servant of the Supreme, we have become the servant of the senses. The whole material life is nothing but servant of sense. Servant of sense. The whole people are working whole day hard. So the Bhagavad has diagnosed why they are so much enthusiastic in working so hard. maithunādi-gṛhamedhi-sukhaṁ tuccham. The only impetus is that they will have some sex enjoyment. That's all. That is the end of all activities. The whole world is not only human being. You will find in the kingdom of the birds, in the beasts, that everyone is working, everyone is busy. Why? to end it into the sex life. That means in this material consciousness of our life, everyone has become the servant of the senses. And in the spiritual consciousness of life, he will no longer be the servant of the senses, but he will be the master of the senses. That is the difference. And by becoming the master of the senses, how it is the senses are used? Just like the kūrmo, the tortoise. The tortoise, whenever he likes that now I shall manifest my senses, he manifests it. And whenever he likes, according to his own, this very example, nature, this is called nature study. We have to study from so many things, from lower animals. So here the very good example is set here with that yadā saṁharate cāyaṁ kūrmo ṅgānīva sarvaśaḥ. Just like the tortoise is practiced to wound off his senses within his body according to his will. Similarly, indriyāṇīndriyārthebhyas, similarly, when we should use the senses and what purpose, when comes to understand this, then he is situated in spiritual consciousness.